Hello, fabled friends. Today we're going to do a January flip through of our bullet journal planner hybrid. So we changed the first page into our 2022. Before it was a bird theme, but because our theme for the entire year is going to be fantasy creatures, we decided to change this into a doorway. So for this design, I used a Coptic pen, which is E13 for the tree and the door and the inside. And then I just used a black, gray, and brown Sharpie marker for the rest. And for the green, that's green acrylic paint. The rest of the beginning of the planner into 2022 is the same as it is in the other video. So if you'd like to see that, I will link it. Then we have doorways. So these 3 tabs will stay the same throughout the year. They will be having doorways and quotes on the other side. But this doorway is going to lead us into January. So to create this doorway, all I used was the Coptic pen, the gray, the brown, the black, a purple, green, brown, and black Cezanne premium colored pencils, and a green Crayola marker. And then our quote page, this is painted with acrylic paint. And for the design and for the writing, I used an Arteza acrylic marker for all the white. And then for the silver, I used a Sharpie silver marker. And the quote says, "The 2 most powerful warriors are patience and time." This leads us into our January cover page, which our theme for January is dragons. And so I drew a dragon. This is out of Drawing Dragons book. And the script is Dragon script out of a All About Dragons book. And I'll link that down below. And it says Life from the Stars. On this page, I just used the black Sharpie marker, the white Arteza acrylic marker for the eyes, and then I used this Crafter Square metallic marker for the January and the scales, and I got the Crafter Square acrylic marker at the dollar store. That leads us into our monthly spread. This is a printable that I created and have available on my website. And it's just, the squares are printable, and then I wrote in the words using the black Sharpie marker and the days. And this is a map of a world in my Light Chronicles books, and I wanted the dragons to be flying over their land. So this was kind of fun. I don't know if I'm going to keep doing maps in the back of the maps or in the back of the calendars, or if it's too distracting, so we'll see how that goes. This leads us into our social media page, which is part of the printable that I have. And I just broke down the videos we do, a Patreon section of the things that need to be done for this month, and then our statistics for our 2 YouTube channels. I'm trying to learn Ojibwe language, and so I have a language study activity sheet here that we're going to try and do these activities throughout the month. And then I have a meeting page. So the meeting page is really important because Jay and I have meetings once a month for our Inks Grow Creatives business. And so this is where we break down who does what we need to talk about, and anything else we discuss, or bouncing ideals, creative ideals off each other. On the other page is the mood tracker. The dragon I got from Drawing Dragons book, the same as the cover page, and so I'll link that book down below. And the flames took me a while to figure out how to do the 31 flames I needed for the month of January. And then I just used the colored pencils and a black Sharpie marker for this page here. Then we have a quote page. Out there may be monsters, but in you there is a dragon. So I got this dragon offline, and I used a black Sharpie marker and the metallic crafter's marker for this page here. I did make a mistake because I didn't glue this page down to the other side before I punched the holes, and so that's a lesson learned. And then I have the monthly review that's part of the printable that I have, which leads us into the monthly spread printable that I created. And I did eggs up here, and then I drew this dragon, and this is part of our Patreon stickers. For our theme of dragons, we did dragon babies. This dragon here represents Jay. This dragon here represents me when we wake up in the morning. The spread has the dates squared off. So Monday, January 3rd, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And then it has the different sections that I can separate out the things that I focus on: YouTube, Patreon, personal, author, library, business. It leaves a space down here where I drew in a habit tracker for workout, TikTok, Insta, productive, skincare, and outside. And then I wrote another tracker here for the amount of exercises I do and word count, so how many words I write every day. And there are a lot of blank spaces, and so I'm going to, throughout the next few months, try and do different weekly spreads and monthly spreads to see which ones work best for me, so I can get some go-to planner spreads. On the back of this page is our content ideals to film, our expenses, and the work log. How much work do we put into our Ink Scroll Creatives business? The next page is an Artistic Mystic 12-day challenge. This is from Brianna Augusta on TikTok, and I wanted to try her 12-day challenge, and so I printed it out so I could start checking them off. And that's what we're going to do for Ink Scroll Creatives for the month. And that leads us into our January week 2 spread. So my dragon hoard are books, and so I did some books, and I used Creative Commons books, and I colored them with Sharpie markers, the metallic pens, and color pencils. Writing out January here, I used the Bright Liner Grip Bic pastel highlighter, and I used that to highlight this at different sections. This one is 6.5 wide and 2/3 of the page. It has library work separated out because library work is very redundant, and so I decided to just do a checklist of the things that I do every week. And the things I do for Ink Scroll Creative or other things are fluid, so I will write those down in to-do list here. Word count is consistently throughout the whole week, and so I just did it on the bottom so I could write in underneath. My habit tracker was too big on the other side, so I just focused on social post, workout, and skincare. Those are the habits that I want to track. So it's more of a simplistic layout. But I think it'll be fun to try this planner spread out. Next, it leads into our brain dump page and our ideals page. So I'm constantly coming up with ideas for books, coming up with ideas for art pieces, or even ideas for business, what things we could do for videos. So I need an ideal page, brain dump page, but I wanted to try and see how it worked for me. It might have just end up being an ideals page. This leads us into our week 3 spread. And I wanted to have a dragon, so Jay drew me a dragon, and I wanted it to seem like it's from the stars, so I did some acrylic splatter paint, metallic pins, and Sharpie pins. So this spread here, I just used some stickers to emphasize the days of the week. The boxes are 16 down and 9. So that's the dots in between, because this is dotted pages. So that's 16 dots in the middle of the 2 lines and 9 dots in between these 2 lines. So this is a good spread for me because I do a lot on the weekends, and so I need to make sure I have space to write. I wanted to try smaller, fatter squares versus the skinny squares, but we'll see which one works the best. I also decided that library work needed to continue to be separated out, and I decided to try a word count box again like I did on the first spread, and the habit tracker is still the 3 items. But I did a quote on this page too. It's simply not an adventure worth telling if there aren't any dragons, and that's by Token. And that leads us into the crystals page. This is a printable that I got, or something I got off of Pinterest, and it shows the different crystals and their meanings, and so I wanted to have that available because dragons like crystals and rocks and jewels. And then I have moon phases, and this is important because I always like to understand the meaning of things, and also dragons are from the stars, and so I thought it would be kind of cool to add a moon phase. That leads us into our January 4th week spread. This time I decided to mainly focus on putting the days of the week on one page. So I used a tab just to write the first letter to represent each day. I did a black circle with a Crayola marker and then used the white pen to write the day. And each one of these boxes has 4 dots in the middle. And then I used the word count again because it's very similar, so I decided to try and see how I like it, just doing it across, or if I like doing its own box. Library work again, habit tracker again, and then I drew a dragon here using color pencils and the metallic pen. And the quote says, "One does not need to be the size of a dragon to have the soul of a dragon." So that's our dragon theme for January. If you want to see other spreads with fantasy creatures, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. And if you like the video, hit the like button. And we'll see you next time, Fabled Friends.